Welcome back to Manny's Game Room. This is NBA Jam by Arcade1Up. This is a scaled down version of the full-size arcade machine you would have seen in the 90s. This one has NBA Jam, Tournament Edition, and Hang Time. They're three different games. They have their own unique differences which make them fun to play, even though they're a little bit similar. The side art is indicative of what you would have seen on an NBA Jam machine, and the light up marquee is a really cool touch. The control panel allows up to 4 players at the same time. It's got Wi-Fi so you can play with friends online. The buttons aren't super sturdy. They're playable, but they're not arcade standard, but there's nothing wrong with them. When you first turn on the machine, you're met with this options menu. So each game you can customize to how you want to play. So you can change speed settings, you can change difficulty, you can change the way the players look in terms of you can have them with big heads, you can have scan lines on the screen, so you can see the little cog next to each game, then brings up a sub menu where you can change whatever you'd like. It's actually a pretty difficult game, and even when it's set on easy, you're still going to have a lot of nail-biting games if you play against the computer. So it's really good in the way that it still keeps your stats. It's just like it was back in the day. So it's also got Wi-Fi, so you can join in with people's games, and you can have them join your games. You can hide yourself so they can't see you. You can have yourself online so they can see you. Whatever you'd like to do. It's very versatile in that way. Now let's take a look at some of the gameplay for each game. This is the original NBA Jam in 1993. It emulates the arcade version beautifully. It plays exactly the same as I remember it when I was 13 years old. Some of the rosters are a little bit different because some players didn't want to give their likeness to the game anymore, or their license ran out, but they're not players you're going to miss. You've still got Shaq, Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen, all those guys. And you can see it plays really well, really smooth. It's an excellent version of this ROM. So if you want to get out, you just press the Wi-Fi button and you say leave this game, and it takes you back to that main menu again. And so now we're going to launch into NBA Jam Tournament Edition. It came out a couple of years later. It's got extended rosters and you can change players at half time, little things like that. It's faster as well. The dunks are a bit more extreme. I like this version a bit better just because it's a little bit faster than the other game. You can put big head mode on and all that sort of thing too, but I like NBA Jam with big heads and Tournament Edition with small heads, but it's your preference. But the sound effects are really good. You can amp up the volume really high and it doesn't top out the speakers. They're actually pretty good quality. A lot of people seem to complain about them, but I don't know why, because it still gives that great atmosphere. So we'll leave the game. Back to the menu again. Now this is one I didn't really play much when I was younger, Hang Time. I just didn't really feel it, and I guess by the time I'd played those two first versions, I was kind of moving on to other games as I got a bit older and wanted to try other things in the arcade. But playing it now, it's pretty cool. It's got an extended roster. It's got players like Grant Hill and Anthony Hardaway, who are still to this day my favorite players in the NBA. So it's good to be able to play with those guys who sort of came along in the mid to late 90s. The graphics are a little bit different. The commentator's different, which sort of takes away from the game because that original commentator is so much fun to listen to. But as you can see, it's still fun to play, and it's good to just have a game that's a little bit different to break it up from the other two anyway. I haven't played a whole heap with this one, you can probably see, because I'm not super accurate with what I'm doing. But yeah, as you can see, there you go, he pulled up, he didn't even dunk. But it's still fun to play, and all the controls are really responsive, so nothing lags, it all runs perfect all the time. So no excuses if you lose, I guess. So if you're thinking about getting this, my strong recommendation would be go out and get it. It's fun to play, it's got lots of replayability, it's got 3 different versions of the game, and they're all different in their own way. My only thing that I would say that's a bit of a negative about this machine is I know it's a scaled down version, but if you are trying to have 4 players play, the person who's on this end pretty much has to stand right on the side and sort of look side on if you've got 4 adults playing. If you had kids on seats, it's probably the same deal because the seat's going to take just as much space as an adult. So while it is functional for 4 players to play, I wouldn't say it's really easy to play. It's better off if you play on your own or online or with maybe 2-3 players max. Overall though, it's awesome. If you have any questions about it, send them to me. If you can like or subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. I have a video coming up where I'd like to take you on a tour of my game room and how I set it up. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Thanks for watching and good luck.